Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Let's Play Darksiders. Last time we picked up the hookshot, and today is going to be our first opportunity to actually use the thing to solve some puzzles. The game's about to teach us that we can swing around Tarzan-like from the blue hookshot points, and we can kind of hang idly by on the red hookshot points, although they're more orange than anything. So we swing around. You don't always have to manually aim it, sometimes it can help. And you can also grapple yourself up onto demonic growth. So these are not unfamiliar mechanics that we're dealing with here. And here we come to our first, actual legitimate puzzle room with a hookshot. So we have a locked door over here, we have a chest on the other side of this gate, but blocking entry to the gate are two gormaws that will gobble us up if we try to just jump it straight off. So we use the hookshot to bring ourselves over to the Chronomancer sphere. But before we do that, we can pull ourselves up onto this ledge where there is a hidden item. And that's our 7th abyssal armor piece. We haven't gotten one in a while. I think the last one we picked up might have been number 6 in the hollows. So we do what we've done before. We hit the chronosphere with the crossblade to activate the Chronomancer that slows down time. And we can then grapple back with the hookshot and get past the gormaws, because time is slowed down. We've actually used that mechanic to get past the gormaws before. They just added an extra layer on top of it. And now that we're on the other side, we can't stop time, but we can just shoot the gormaws. We have plenty of time to get back over the gate. We have the key. Now we can exit the room. And this is a gate that we've seen before from the other side. We exit this room, and that's the hallway with the soul chest and the collapsed floor. So we know now that this will lead us back to the boss door of the dungeon. We do a lot of really cool backtracking in this dungeon. That's the kind of backtracking that I actually like, where it's a very tiny condensed dungeon that it's lengthened by all the backtracking you have to do, but when you backtrack, you wind up going through in a different way because you have the hookshot, and that totally changes the way you traverse the dungeon and the way you do puzzles. Also, I don't know why I wasn't doing this before with the first... I don't remember what the medium-sized spiders are called. Oh god, they're loom something. Loom weavers? Ah, shit. I think it's because in this style of action games, I never actually think to block. I just love dashing and rolling all day long. The counterattack is actually quite handy against these guys. They telegraph their big fury swipes pretty dramatically. The auto-targeting here, not the greatest. The targeting system really likes to prioritize the tiny little pests as opposed to letting you stay focused on the big guy, unless I guess you use the manual lock on the Z target. But then you get the shitty black bars, and I think that's the main reason I don't like the Z targeting in this game, is because it puts you in a gross looking cinematic view. So now that we have the hookshot, it's a matter of going back through the dungeon and killing all of the big blue spiders marked on the minimap. Those will eliminate most of the seals of the boss door, and then it will take one more spider to dissipate the big central spider seal that'll lead to the boss. So pretty much we have 4 things to go around the dungeon and kill. Well, 2 are left now. And then we get mini-boss against the Broodmother, and then we can fight Silitha herself. Silitha, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time, is a fight that I am wretchedly bad at. It's almost embarrassing how often I will get hit by her. And she really only does 2 attacks. There's not even a rare 3rd attack, it's just, there we go, I was looking to level this up. That's why I've been kind of using the Tremor Gauntlet in situations where I could just skip the smaller spiders. Yeah, Silitha doesn't have like a rarely used 3rd attack, she just uses 2, and one of those she uses like 60% of the time. And I cannot dodge it for the life of me, I'm fucking terrible at it. I'm not in any real danger against her, it's just... I hit an invisible wall somewhere. Okay, let's try that again. Yeah, just fair warning, it's gonna be real terrible looking. But I'm gonna permit myself one embarrassingly bad boss. What the hell is going on here? I keep running into an invisible wall. I don't know why this compass is so well hidden either. There we go. You would think that you're pulling yourself up to an important item, but I mean, there's a soul chest here, and the other item hidden in this chest is not like an abyssal armor piece or something. It's the compass. It's the dungeon's compass that... Oh, man. So we've been through here before. This is where we got the artifact of the soldier earlier on. I didn't point it out, but we picked a champion artifact up that's really, really easy to get. So we're now 3 out of 6 on champion artifacts, and we're almost done with the soldier artifacts as well. So we want to pull you down and pull your shell off, because it doesn't just fall off when it goes onto its back. And we'll let Affliction do its thing, working away at the Loom Weaver. Wow, she's already dead. That is super impressive. I mean, I knew Affliction did some real good damage, but even I was still underestimating it. Not bad at all. And then we could just deal with you guys. Oh no! I wanted to do some DMC style combos with the hookshot now that we have it. I think the hookshot's... Oh man, the hookshot's the best part of DMC Devil May Cry. Or not the hookshot, but the whips. The ones that pull you towards enemies and the one that pulls enemies towards you. The angel and the demon whips. Been trying to do a little bit of that. You can't quite extend your air juggles that much with it. It's definitely no Devil May Cry in that regard, but you do some cool little swag combos for what it's worth with this combat engine. There's a little bit of depth there. Again, I feel like it's actually a much stronger combat engine than the one you find in God of War. So, speaking of this game and wearing its influences on its sleeve, I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to come out this way. Yep. What do you guys think of Darksiders so far? Oh shit, I shouldn't have gone in here yet. I actually remember that there are a couple of chests that I couldn't get to before because I didn't have the hookshot. And 1 or 2 of them are soul chests, and I think one of them is rats, so I'm gonna take the time out and go get that. Anyway, what do you guys think of Darksiders so far? And more to the point, do you think that it's any worse for being derivative? Specifically a derivative of Zelda's formula? Because this game got a lot of flack for aping Zelda and a few other games pretty heavily. And I'm not sure that it deserves that criticism. I've called it a Zelda clone in this very playthrough once or twice, and I didn't do so with the intent of being, like, derogatory. But Darksiders does wear its influences on its sleeve very, very proudly. You can see it in the enemy types, in the dungeon structures, in the boss design, in specific items, the fucking hookshot here. There's a lot of Zelda in this, and Zelda's formula. I don't think there's any arguing it's not derivative, but I'm wary about labeling that a bad thing. Oh, come on now. It's not quite tracking the way I want. Creators in any field, be it books, movies, games, they steal liberally from one another, from peers and predecessors. Entertainment media aren't made in a vacuum. They're usually not innovative ideas that just explode into existence like a Big Bang. Every game, every book, every movie has inspiration, or in most cases, a lot of little inspirations that you can kind of see the DNA of those things that inspire it inside that work. I don't think that alone is grounds to negatively criticize Darksiders. By the way, King Dodongo, speaking of homage and deriving, I think derivative work is only a problem when you're deriving from something trite or overused, and how many games really ape the style of Zelda? Not as many as you would think. Less than I would want. And I think the quality of the game should be judged on its own merits, and Darksiders is pretty damn good. Like, there was this terrible third-person shooter that came out a few years back. It was called Inversion, it was a Gears of War clone. But that alone was not the game's problem. One, it was trite, and two, it was bad. It was trite not just because it was a Gears clone, but because it was a Gears clone that existed in a sea of other Gears of War clones. And it wasn't bad because it was trite, it was bad because it didn't play even a fraction as well as Gears of War did. It was bad on its own merits, to be honest. Darksiders is no inversion, not at all. It's really good, in fact. It's rough around the edges. It's got some pretty weak bosses and mini-bosses, like the one we're fighting here. But on its own merits, I like it a lot. And I appreciate it taking so much influence from Zelda because I love Zelda's formula. And nobody else really does that. And you know what's weird? I don't hear people beating down, like, Lords of the Fallen for being a really shameless Dark Souls clone. And that's awesome. I'm happy people accept Lords of the Fallen for what it is. And I'm happy someone is trying to clone that style of game because I love that style of game and there's not enough of it. And I don't even particularly like Lords of the Fallen, but I'm happy it was well received. In limited amounts, I would love more people to make games that play like other games that I like. Or to build on them as foundations like Darksiders does. I do think Darksiders 2 kind of finds its own groove and its own identity a little bit better than this one. But, I mean, this game is still a learning experience for Vigil, so I'll give them a pass on that. So yeah, I kind of want to hear your thoughts on this. I know that a lot of the Vigil folks kind of take exception to the game being called derivative. I think it's just the connotation, because a lot of people use that to kind of slam the game. I don't think that this being derivative is necessarily a bad thing. In fact, I'm kind of happy that it is, because I really like this formula a lot. And that, even though it kind of looks like the wraiths that we fought in the Hollows, I think that's actually a new enemy type. It might be just a variation on the Wraith, or the caster enemies from the Drowned Pass, but it's technically new-ish. It just looks like a souped-up Gorgon. Like a real ugly one. And you can use the hookshot to pull yourself towards big enemy. Oh, hey! Large enemies cannot be dragged by the abyssal chain, but will pull war toward them instead. Oh, more teal fire. Oh no, these are, yeah, these are just these guys spawning in. Yeah. The problem with using the abyssal chain as a combo extender in midair is that it doesn't pull enemies towards you quickly enough, so you still lose a lot of vertical height. Was that a super redundant sentence? Vertical height? Yeah. Oh shit, I'm surrounded. Luckily, you can always kind of cancel out of your moves and count on the enemies with the beat prompts over them to execute them for invisibility. That's a nice, brutal animation. Alright, whoa, shit. I'm lucky I caught that mistake in time. I was going for a grab on the guy on the right, but I guess I wasn't close enough, and I just kind of whiffed completely. We'll get some more quality time in with the Tremor Gauntlet. I might be putting... Shit, what is the name of this enhancement? Weapon Expertise, I think, or Weapon Mastery on the Tremor Gauntlet instead of Combat Lore momentarily. It's weird that we get another sewer section here. But in this sewer section, we're going to find a very valuable pickup. I'm happy to burn through all my wrath here, as opposed to using Chaos Form. I want to hang on to that for the next room. There should be something pretty hefty up ahead. I can do a little bit of damage to the other beast behind me. Ah, no, not quite. I couldn't get him turned around. It's a little bit awkward to control like that. Yeah, I should be able to tear this guy up. And I still have one Blade Geyser left, so I doubt I'm going to be taking any damage from him. Take some pot shots and Blade Geyser. Yep, not even an execute prompt on that one. Perfect. So... Oh no, I'm so bad with directions. Please tell me this is the right way. This is the way I'm supposed to... Yeah. Okay, so up here, you can see a little launch pad that leads up to the abyssal chain points. Nope, don't go that way. Turn directly around. Go directly to jail. And directly behind you, up on this platform, is War's Glory, which is a legendary enhancement, our first one, and look at all that. Chaos gained, longer chaos form duration passively, more weapon damage for everything passively. Actually, I think that might just be for the Chaos Eater, but still, really, really, really strong enhancement. So now we could shuffle some stuff around. I'll put combat, whatever, on the Tremor Gauntlet, and oh, and that too. We haven't changed out the effect on the Chaos Eater in a super long time, so we haven't seen too many of the extra visual effects. So this part's really cool. Just a lot of hookshot points to cross this big chasm. Big bottomless chasm in the middle of the sewer. It's like poop abyss. Oh my god, I can have the most cogent moments of like 16 minutes of reasonable commentary and then, hey, poop joke. Those are fun. It's like I'm fucking 5. Speaking of being 5, I'm digging the bleeding red Chaos Eater a lot. Oh, I'm so happy to finally be looking at something new. Soon enough, we'll have the abyssal armor too. Oh, and the Chaos Eater already leveled up again. Yeah, that's that War's Glory enhancement going to work. There was one that we could almost get to legitimately in the Ashlands, but we needed the abyssal chain to just get us that one extra step, so we'll be going back there eventually. And since this is, just to remind you, a 100% playthrough, I will be going for every single enhancement, including all 3 remaining legendary ones, along with the remaining parts of the abyssal armor. And I don't think I'm missing any life stone shards or wrath shards. So we're on track to pick all those up as well. And there's nothing I can't backtrack to, just in case I did miss something. Oh shit, the fallen angels are being a pain in the ass right now. I didn't leave myself any wrath for these guys. I think I just barely don't have a full bar. I almost do. It's a little bit hard to tell. Like if there's just a magic pixel left before the bar fills up, or yeah, that visually is not super clear. But this is what I was saving up Chaos Form for, and you can see now how much longer this is lasting now that I have that War's Glory enhancement. A hookshot is so damn valuable. And that was one of the last things standing in our way before we actually get to Silitha's lair. Oh, am I going the right way this time? No, I am not. Right, we're going back through the door that we opened up. Oh shit, which door was that? It was this one, right? That leads back out into the hallway with the collapsed floor. And then... oh no, it just leads right back out here. God damn. My sense of direction is all types of awful. And then this is what used to be the boss door. Or the big sealed orange glowing barrier. Ooh, shit. You can see there's a shortcut exit up there that we'll be looping around to. Or rather, you can if you want to. There's no actual need to use it at the end of the dungeon because you can teleport out. Actually, no, I'm wrong again. This is the one dungeon that I don't think you can teleport out of. You kind of open the back door to the dungeon up, and that leads you back out to the road that you got captured on in the beginning.
Over here. Silitha's lair must lie beyond that sticky barrier. Let's finish this.
Sticky white stuff ahead.
You honor me with your presence, horseman. There are so many stories about you. You have killed 3 of the chosen, taken their hearts. Disturbing. Is that why you have come? To slay the final Tower Guardian? To take my heart? Did Samael tell you how he came to bear his tainted blood? Why his accursed power beats within our breast? It is not the tower that the chosen protect, horsemen. Our charge is to prevent Samael's return at any cost. You may kill me and return to Samael with my heart, but in him, you will face a threat greater than all the chosen combined.
I did not come for your counsel, Spider, or your stories.
My children will dance to the music of your screams.
I'll admit, that threat sounds really cool, but it carries no weight since we've just spent the past 20 minutes or so killing all of her children, big and small. Oh, and here we go. I'm not close enough. Oh, that's not gonna be good. Yeah, I'm gonna get hit by every single one of her little butt stomps. Every single one. I am the goddamn worst person on earth at dodging those. I told you I was not exaggerating this time. I am legitimately awful at this boss. It's on normal, so it's not a big deal, but holy shit, I can't believe how bad I am at this. I mean, I'm not even gonna struggle, Silitha. Nah, too early. The shockwave gets you. Too late. She just lands on you. You gotta be right in the Goldilocks zone. Gotta get your invincibility frames right. She has another attack that she's just not using that I can dodge with reasonable consistency. That one, where she teleports onto the ground. Oh, didn't dodge that one though. Did get away from the follow-up. So she'll take a couple of attacks with one of her 2 attacks where she either lands in the air and butt stomps, or she lands on the ground and swipes at you with her mandibles. And then she kind of teleports to a corner of the room to talk some shit, where you can abyssal chain up to her and do a little bit of an air combo. And you can take some pot shots here as well. You get 2 or 3 hits in every time she teleports on you. Oh, my time. Oh! I mean, I can accept not being able to dodge her stupid butt stomp. I can accept being terrible. Oh yeah, I did it. I did one. Yeah, great. Good, go me. I can accept not being able to dodge that move for shit. But what is really depressing me right now is getting hit a couple times by the other attack, the one that I should have no excuse for not being able to dodge. No, I want to struggle super hard though. I seem to be finding some way to deal with it. Dodging towards her butt seems to work. So let me just dash into your butt, Silitha. Nope, not that time. She appears on the ground. Dashing into her butt just leads me to her sharp, pointy mandibles. So either go left or into the butt. Also, I'm starting my combos off with the flip saw now. Ah, the fight's over. I was starting my combos off with the flip saw because I noticed that she was teleporting onto me and attacking me while I was still in mid-air with the juggle. We just have to wait for the claw shot points to form, and we end the fight like that. Silitha gets it harder than any other boss so far.
Samael will be waiting for the last heart. You think he's going to let you live long enough to collect on your end?
Thinking about it, maybe the Griever got it a little harder. We did smash his teeth in with a train cart. So before we leave, we want to activate that with a crossblade and then hookshot onto the bottom. This transports you back throughout the dungeon if you want to backtrack for anything you missed. But it also gives you access to this intermediary floor that we couldn't get to before because of the cutscene, where we find a chest full of souls and a really well-hidden artifact, which is the last collectible item of this dungeon, the Iron Canopy. So we are officially done with this place. And unlike the last 3 that we did, we don't get the Watcher teleporting us out. We actually come right out here to a chasm that we can now cross with a hookshot. And this Silk and Ashen Road is the road that War got captured on by Silitha's brood and dragged into the dungeon by. So we've crossed this road before. We're just going to be going back to Volgrim and teleporting back to the Skull and Gallows, so I will save you all some time and we'll be cutting ahead to when I meet back up with Samael. It should be a good point to come back in because we are just about back at Samael.
I was beginning to worry you might not live up to your end of the bargain. Give it to me.
You lied to me about the Chosen. They never guarded the tower.
What does it matter? Our deal wasn't for ancient history. I promised you the tower, and you shall have it. Did it amuse you to deny me what's rightfully mine? With my powers restored, I am like unto a god. I can suck the marrow from your bones before you drew another breath. I could, but I too have a code by which I do business. Besides, say what you will about balance and your ridiculous law. I recognize a quest for revenge when I see one, and revenge I respect. As for the details of my resignation, well, I do not approve of the company my master keeps.
Why did you challenge the Destroyer, Samael?
See your journey to its end, horseman. You will understand soon enough.
You trust him? Who knows where in the Nine Hells this portal will take us?
We will meet again.
What a cool guy Samael is. By far one of my favorite characters in the game. Almost slipped and called him my favorite. That would be a lie. That honor belongs to Ulthane, who I don't remember if we're going to be seeing again this game. This is Samael's own personal serpent hole towards the Destroyer's Tower, the Black Throne. And you can tell it's Samael's because it's all hellish and orange, unlike the other ones which were kind of more blue and green. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. They didn't change the flame effect on War from blue to orange. Ah. Bush League. And now we're in the Black Throne. The Black Throne is an enormous dungeon. And you just go straight here from the Iron Canopy. And, well, we'll be talking more about the Black Throne once we get into it in earnest. But this is a really cool dungeon. It's one that I like a whole lot. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.